Hey, what's up guys? Today we'll be talking about how to make a vocal drone for your drop, in particularly future bass in EDM. So I guess we'll start by auditioning the vocal drone itself, and then we'll kind of play it from the breakdown so you can kind of get some context of what it actually does to your drop. So here's the sound first. And you can kind of hear the side chain kicking in, which is those clicks. But basically, you want to kind of think about this as like an ingredient that's part of your drop. So let's say, for example, if you're eating a cheeseburger, this would be kind of like the cheese, and without it, it'd kind of just be like a burger without cheese. Since you ordered a cheeseburger but you didn't get any cheese, like you kind of wanted the cheese, but you can still eat it. So this is kind of what it kind of does to your drop. It kind of adds to it and kind of like makes the top full, if you will. But I guess we'll just play it in context first, and we'll kind of dive deeper into what it all does and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll play it from the breakdown. Okay, so now I'll kind of audition the drop without the vocal drones and then also with the vocal drones. And if you want to learn how I made this drop, we'll definitely do that in another video. I'm definitely looking forward to or looking to post more like music tutorials on my YouTube channel, along with more vlogs as well. I think we'll see where the vlogs go, but I definitely am about to post a vlog maybe next week or maybe even this week. We'll see. It's almost finished, or I'm almost finished editing it. But yeah, let's go ahead and play this vocal drone or this drop without the vocal drone and then with the vocal drone. And then with the vocal drone. So you can kind of see that it kind of adds to the drop. Earlier you can kind of hear the top was kind of, I guess, some top frequencies were kind of missing, and now that we've added the vocal drone, it kind of fills out the mix a bit better. Now the way that I create these vocal drones is a more stylistic choice more than anything else, because they're kind of really distorted. So again, I'll play it again. So it's pretty distorted. And originally, the reason why I decided to go with a more distorted sound, and I think you could probably go for a more cleaner sound too. I think it just really depends on what you want as a producer. But as you can see, my drop initially without the distortion seems to be pretty clean, right? So it's very clean, but I actually kind of wanted more of like a gritty feel to the drop, so hence why I decided to go with more of a distorted vocal drone. And you can actually do drones with other instruments too, or I guess sounds, but in this particular case I just use vocal drones. So you can like use a synth, for example. Probably could use a string, whatever works. And also real quickly, these vocal drones are actually pretty much Caslow taught me how to make these vocal drones. So if you're interested in checking them out, I definitely highly recommend them. They got some amazing tracks out there released on like Wave Music, and they also do coaching too, is how I learned. So if you're interested in you know, having coaching with them, I'll leave, I might leave an email in the description below or something like that, or you can just simply just look them up on YouTube and find them. But yeah, anyway, let's go into the processing. So here we have the first vocal drone, which is basically playing the one. This is if you don't know what the one is, this is basically the key of this song is in C major. So the one, or the root note, I believe that's what it's called. I really don't know, but is C. So this, essentially this drone here is playing the C note over and over. And if we basically, where I got this from is from actually a vocal sample. And let me see if I can just take it out and stretch it. Yeah, so you can see it's just a vocal sample. I guess I'll just make a new audio track so that way you can kind of hear what it actually is before anything else.
When you were all alone, oh, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there. Oh, I'll be there for you.
Okay, so basically what you're usually looking for in these type of drones is any type of long vowel that they're pronouncing, basically the A's, E's, Oo's, and stuff like that. So in this particular case, this is actually in A minor. So technically you could actually use probably the minor third as a note too, and it probably could work as a drone, because usually safe notes that you can choose for drones and probably melodies too is the 1, the 5, and I believe the minor third too. I could be wrong. I actually haven't tried it, but you might be able to get away with the minor third, because basically C sharp, a little bit of theory, and honestly my theory is not that great, but from the coaching I've learned and from Miles Away and stuff like that, or Devin, basically the notes in A minor scale and the notes in the C major scale are the same. So essentially that's why the A minor works. But yeah, since essentially she was singing the A, or the 1 in the A minor scale, and I chose the U because, again, you know, you're looking for those kind of long vowels that are pronounced in the vocal, and then I basically just took that U, right, and pitched it up 3, because A to C would be 3 up, and I basically just kind of faded in the sides just so that way it doesn't really make that like chopping sound or whatever you want to call it. And then now you have U, and then on top with all the processing, now you have a distorted vocal drone. Alright, let's get into the processing. So here I have a compressor. Honestly, any compressor will do. The stock Ableton compressor can probably work. If you're on Logic, for example, the stock Logic compressor can probably work. But basically, I have the input set here. We have the output raised up, and then we basically have a long release and a bit of more attack in the middle here. And without the compressor, it sounds like this. And then with the compressor, so yeah, basically kind of brings up the sound a bit more. Here I have an OTT to just basically bring up the compression just a tad bit again. So it's not going to make too much of a difference, but without OTT, and then with OTT. And here we have a saturator. Oops. This is basically the distortion that we have here. That gives it that gritty sound. Honestly, any other saturator will do. As long as you make it have that like gritty sound, that's all you're looking for, or the distorted sound. So with the saturator or without the saturator, right? And then with the saturator. And then we have some Valhalla room. Yeah, also I tried a decapitator as well, but it didn't really give that same, you know, gritty feeling that I was looking for, although it definitely could work. Here, you see, it definitely doesn't. You might be able to do it if you punish it, maybe. And then I also, my earlier process was actually without the Saturator, and I tried actually using the drive from the little Altar Boy. Let me change this real quick so it doesn't mess up anything. And then with the Decapitator. So you can also do it that way to create a distorted sound. But I kind of just like the grit from the Saturator a lot more. So I decided to go with that. And then here we have a Valhalla room. Quite up in the mix. And then after that, we have some EQ. Just to, so if I probably could actually do this a bit better, but the EQing process basically is, you know, because of the distortion and stuff like that, there's probably going to be some ringing noises. So, you know, you want to get rid of those kind of like ringing sounds and stuff like that for your EQing. All right, time for the next vocal drone. Actually, these vocal drones are the same. Basically, it's just creating a stereo effect. One being panned to the left, and then one being panned to the right, and basically this vocal drone kind of sitting in the middle for kind of like a fuller effect, if you will. Again, this is all learned from Caslow, so big shout out to them. Yeah, I guess I'll play it together again so you can kind of see. All right, so again, yeah, you know, this is sitting in the middle, and these are sitting kind of to the sides. As for processing, it's actually a little different. You can probably get away with doing a similar processing for the other, as I did with the first one. But yeah, for this one, we have two little Altar Boys. Some formant down on this one, drive all the way up, wet all the way up. And then for the next little Altar Boy, we have the pitch all the way to 12, and the formant all the way to 12, drive again all the way, and then mix all the way to the wet. We're looking for a really distorted sound, so that's why we have the drive. Pretty crazy. And then here we have a Valhalla room again. And then Saturator I disabled. I was just kind of testing, you know, the differences of the drives from the little Altar Boy versus the Saturator. I kind of like the little Altar Boy, but you can experiment, see what you like more. I also tried using Decapitator as well. And then an OTT to kind of like tie everything together. Very, very little processing, or very little depth. And then we have this Simplon, or whatever it's called, basically to create a phone kind of EQ, but rather than being completely closed like that, you know, kind of loses a bit of the highs. We open this so that way you can hear the highs and the distortion basically. Yeah. You could probably get away with trying to do a similar effect with like EQing and stuff like that, but I found this just to be kind of that sound I was looking for. And then here basically EQing, some more EQ, again to cut out those you know, ringing noises. And then another EQ to kind of tie it even more down, or to get even closer. I have a utility here to bring up some of the gain. And then basically another compressor here to tie it all together. And that's basically it for the vocal drone. The second drone is literally the same processing, just pan to the right, and this one's pan to the left. So yeah, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I definitely am looking again to create more music tutorials as I'm learning as an artist. And again, I'm definitely not like an expert, or I definitely don't have all the answers. I'm basically just kind of using what has worked in my own personal journey through music. And yeah, hit that bell notification symbol so you know when my next video goes live. It definitely helps me a lot when you guys like the video, and also sub to my channel, as I actually really want to do this full time and be able to just do my own thing. Then also follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitch as well. I also stream sometimes co-setting streams on Twitch, as well as when I make music. Join the Discord server, and yeah, I'll leave all my links in the description below. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Peace.